Hello, my name is Rick. This is Swampcavern versus the Hydra, featuring special guest, Werelizard. In Greek mythology, a Hydra was a dragon-like monster with 7 heads, with a regeneration power in that it could grow back new heads if ever it lost one. In Dwarf Fortress, a Hydra doesn't do that, but I believe having 7 heads gives them the ability to bite a lot of things at the same time. At this point in Swampcavern's history, the dwarves have adamantine and steel armor and weapons. They have sophisticated defenses, so a dragon-like monster showing up just isn't as frightening as it would have once been. Also, hydras don't breathe fire, but it's not like they have nothing to worry about. If a giant dragon-like monster stomps on a dwarf, they're going to feel it, even through adamantine armor. So, without any further introduction, here is Swampcavern versus the Hydra, featuring Werelizard. It is fall in Swampcavern, and the bugs were buzzing very loudly. Suddenly, the Hydra Sim Ritanrimtar Zekrim Ovis has come, a giant dragon-like monster with 7 biting heads. Okay, I'm a little surprised. I didn't know there were any hydras left alive. Also, it's been many years since anything of any kind attacked Swampcavern, so we weren't really expecting this. However, it's just a hydra. So here's the thing with a hydra. It's alive, which means it suffers from the limitations of a living being. So it's vulnerable to, say, adamantine axes, and it may be large and powerful, and if it stomps on a dwarf, it's going to hurt him. Alright, Hydra, where are you at? Right by the edge of the fort. Sweet. We're not going to try to capture it. We're not going to try to cage it somehow. We're just going to fight it. And I expect it will be a fight that will be fairly short. I'm going to direct archers to the walls, and I'm going to have the troops assemble, and we'll just see what the Hydra does. So you're a Hydra, huh? Well, this should be fun. Alright, I've ordered one group of archers to the walls over here, and I've told the main forces to assemble. And now I'm going to run it forward just a little bit to let the Hydra step onto the map properly. Heading straight to the entrance of the fort, it looks like. So here comes the Hydra. It has so many heads that you cannot see them all at once, but you can see 4 of them. The Hydra is going to be kind of hard to see through the trees. Here's a fun fact for you. Apparently hydras are 3 stories tall. I'm here at the rear end of the Fortress of Swampcavern, and the Hydra's got to be around here somewhere. Let's see. Where is it? Oh. There it is. How do I get across this ditch? Oh, like that. Neat. So anyways, yep, here comes the Hydra. Is that terrifying or what? At this point, I feel like I can guess what it's doing. It's charging the old main front entrance of the fort, probably because there's giant cave spiders there waiting for it to fight. So I'm going to send the troops forward a little bit and see if I'm right. I've sent 4 of our very best squads way up to the front of the old front entrance. And now I'm going to let the Hydra step onto the map so we can take a look at what's going on. Well, it stepped onto the map. I mean, I'm going to let it move forward just a little bit. We can't hardly see it through all those trees, for one thing. All right. My computer is giving its very life to get this episode. But here comes the Hydra. It's approaching the fort. The archers are having difficulty getting in position fast enough to make a difference or be in the right spot to fire their crossbows. But we'll see. Somewhere in that mess over there is 3, if not 4, giant cave spiders. Fun fact, the reason they are there is because we had way too many in the fort, and we were hoping something would kill them for us. If the Hydra was to wipe out all the giant cave spiders at the front of the fort, they would be doing us a favor. On the other hand, if the giant cave spiders did well versus the Hydra, it might be entertaining. So, kind of a win-win there. Also, the dwarves are sent to the front entrance, but they're underground, so hopefully they won't see it yet and come running out by themselves and engage it in one-on-one battle the way they want to, and I don't want them to. Here comes the Hydra. We're having a problem that it doesn't seem likely that the archers can possibly get into position along the walls fast enough to be of any use. So it looks like this will at least at first be primarily the battle of the Hydra versus the giant cave spiders. That should be fun. Okay, good luck everybody. Positions, please. I'm not going there. What are you doing? The troops are charging forwards. Crossbow guys are desperately trying to get into position over here. And the Hydra appears to be just kind of stuck. There is a door down here for it to break, but it's not doing that. It doesn't appear to be doing anything except making horrific howling noises. Like it's really angry. In fact, I think that's the loudest, angriest Hydra I've ever heard. Let's zoom out a little bit and see if that gives us any perspective on the situation. The archers are in position. Okay, got a little too excited about that. So for whatever reason, the Hydra went crazy and decided to stop at the corner of the fort, giving a couple of the crossbow guys crucial time to reach their position, which they didn't have terribly far to go, but it was a ways. Already 3 bolts have been fired out from the fort, each one of them hitting in the beast, in one of its heads, and in its left front leg, fracturing the bone. Here we have just 2 of the amazingly well-trained crossbow users of Swampcavern. Here we have 2 of the extremely well-trained crossbow troops of Swampcavern. And they are already doing an impressively good job of doing some damage to the Hydra. Right outside their fort. There we go. I might have to use this as my screenshot. The thing is, to be any kind of threat to the dwarves, the Hydra is going to have to move. Is it going to move after having been shot in the leg and shot in the head several times? Let's find out. It would be entirely in character for the Fortress of Swampcavern if some sort of giant megabeast was to show up and just get shot to pieces solely by crossbow users before anybody else could get a shot in. The dwarves of Swampcavern are constantly competing amongst each other to see who can get the most kills and the most impressive kills, who can kill the most forgotten beasts, for instance, was something that they had an argument about for a very long-running time. So, in the meantime, here's the battle versus the Hydra. It's not moving. It's just letting the dwarves shoot them. We may as well call our best melee teams forward. I've ordered my very best troops forward, but it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get there because this is where they are and this is where they need to go. Meanwhile, more and more crossbow troops are arriving on the scene. Oh, here come the melee guys. I wonder if I cut the spiders loose, would they run towards the Hydra or away from it? I'm going to set one free just to see what happens. Charming. The Hydra's name in Dwarvish meant Sim Begin Castle, the snot of mold. Oh, lovely. And it's already got one or two injuries from the crossbow guys. So it's not doing really good. And it has a Spearmaster charging towards it at high speed. It's got a human Spearmaster closely followed by an elite Marks dwarf who has run out onto the surface, but at least he's using his crossbow and he's actually firing off shots at it. So, and then behind him, oh, Lovery, the Swordmaster, they're amazing. Septon, the Marks dwarf. Oh, come to think of it, I ordered those guys forwards. It's not even their fault they're here. I told them to do that. Human Spearmasters, Axe Lords charging towards the Hydra. It very, very quickly is about to become an ex-Hydra. The dwarves and many humans of Swampcavern began charging towards the Hydra, desperate to see who would be the first to kill it. Would those crossbow guys steal the kill, or could a melee guy rush in there and kill steal from them? I set one of the giant spiders free. Is it going to run towards the Hydra or run away? This brave, heroic fool is way out in front. The dwarves and many humans of Swampcavern are charging as fast as they can to see, will the crossbow guys finish the beast off before they get there, or will one of them be able to beat the crossbow teams to the kill? Also, I unleashed one of the giant cave spiders to see if it would run towards the Hydra or into the fort. My bet is run into the fort, but it would be cool if it attacked. And now, I suspect, the exciting and dramatic conclusion to Swampcavern versus the Hydra. Bolts flying, Spearmaster comes charging in, the Swordmaster is backing him up. The Hydra is fighting. It's missing the human Spearmaster. It strikes at the human Spearmaster, but the shot is blocked. It misses the human Spearmaster. Meanwhile, copper bolts are lodging firmly in the wound. It's missing. The flying iron bolt strikes the Hydra in the lower body, tearing the muscle and tearing the stomach. The Swordmaster slashes the Hydra in the left rear foot, and the severed part sails off in the arc. Well, see, there's something the myths never covered. I mean, they specifically said if you cut off its head, the new one grows back. But what if you stab it in the heart? Or what if you cut off its foot? Or what if you shoot it in the heart with the crossbow? The myths don't cover that. Well, apparently it's not good for the Hydra, because the Hydra isn't hitting anything, and it's getting slashed, it's getting stabbed. Things are not going well for the Hydra. More warriors charge forward. Teeth are flying. The Hydra is dead. I repeat, the Hydra is dead. Thanks a lot, giant cave spiders. You did absolutely nothing. Way to go, brave warriors of Swampcavern. Now to find out who got the final blow. The final report is that of a swordmaster slashing the Hydra in the left rear leg and cutting it off. But I'm not sure they will get credit. That may just be the last thing that happened. I'm not certain yet. Well, it was the swordmaster Lovery who did that. So let's go see if it's in their record now. Hey, congratulations, Lovery. You did it. You killed Sim Begin Castle, the Snot of Mold, the Hydra. A very fallish adversary, if ever there was one. Previously, Lovery has two notable kills otherwise that were humans, but I feel like the giant bat and the giant saltwater crocodile that they had killed before that is also fairly notable. Congratulations, Lovery. These three guys over here, a little annoyed that Lovery got credit for the kill, seeing as how they were there first and longest. The ground and the nearest plants were stained red with Hydra blood. Once again, the creepy eyeless warriors of Swampcavern were ready to go back to their training. Victorious once again, the many warriors went back into their fortress for more training, thrilled to finally have seen yet another and one of the last few of the mega beasts of this world. So just earlier today, I was bemoaning the fact that Swampcavern had pretty much run out of challenges. And that's still basically true. Even though the Werelizard, Sive Malstrolescu, has come, a large lizard twisted into humanoid form. It is crazed for blood and flesh. Its eyes glow blue. Its cinnamon scales are jagged and close set. Now you will know why you fear the night. Nah, unless you have a head start and you are sitting in our own tavern already, I'm just not that afraid of you, Werelizard. Where are you? Oh. You don't stand a chance. At worst, you can maybe bite one civilian who will have to isolate or something. But you know what? I bet my military can get to them before you can, Werelizard. Or at least, we're about to find out. I've just told a huge chunk of my military to get out there. And I haven't told them to kill the Werelizard specifically. I just told them to move closer to it, because I trust them to know what to do once they see it. And I'm not doing Armok Vision right now. Oh dear. So who is this idiot, and why are they charging directly towards a were creature? Pandivine, the siege operator. No, you know what we need here? I'm sure some people know it's coming, is a military alert Red alert. Oh, what's this? More potential comedy. Werelizard? Spearmaster. I can even tell you what that Spearmaster is doing out over there. When the goat died of old age in our dwarven radar station, we replaced the goat with a giant cave spider, because that's what we had. But they have to constantly be trained so that they don't go berserk and become wild again. So clearly the spear dwarf was just up there training that giant cave spider. So now the closest person to this werelizard is a spearmaster. Oh, it's a match made in heaven. Werelizard sees spear dwarf. Spearmaster sees werelizard. They charge towards each other. The werelizard with what's it wearing? Nothing. Its arms outstretched. The Spearmaster with his named, hopefully, weapon in his right hand. Oh yes, he's got a weapon and a shield. So, oh, and everyone else is running out to help. What's this guy doing? Hand Divine, what do you think you're doing? Oh, I have no job, he says. Alright. Here's the battle. They're fighting. Something, no, they're still fighting. Alright, very important. The Spearmaster is stabbing the werelizard. They're stabbing them again. They are doing really bad things to them. I wonder if YouTube will be mad if I read how gory and disgusting some of these things are. But the werelizard misses the Spearmaster, misses, strikes, but the shot is blocked. It falls over, it misses, strikes, but the shot is blocked. Misses, strikes, but it's blocked. Has become enraged, and finally misses the Spearmaster. The reason this repetitiveness is important is because they haven't hit them yet. They haven't hit one shot, landed one blow. And meanwhile, the Spearmaster stabbed the werelizard in the head with her named weapon, tearing the muscle, fracturing the skull, and tearing the brain. I'm not even sure the fight is over, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, the fight's over. Well, congratulations, Werelizard. You came to Swampcavern, and you came here to die. If you enjoyed this Dwarf Fortress content, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you'd like to be notified when new episodes come out, hit the little bell icon by the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.